buttery. So good. This is why people don't do this part. Friends, welcome back to the Madera family. My name is Amelia, and today we are going to try to start a sourdough starter. I'm going to take you through the whole week of feeding this starter, and we are going to try to make a loaf of sourdough bread. This is my first time ever doing sourdough. I've done like friendship bread, which is pretty similar, but we're gonna try it. So the recipe I found is very easy compared to most recipes that I've been looking at, and what it calls for is half a cup of water and a heaping 3/4 cup of all-purpose unbleached flour. It's hard to remember. So I'm gonna put that together and then we will see what happens. Okay, that's all together. A couple things that I did read on a bunch of different recipes was it's really good to put a rubber band where your starter is currently so you can keep track if it's growing or not. Okay, let's see what happens tomorrow. Good morning, it's day 2. It didn't really grow much, but there are bubbles in it, so that's good. Today, doesn't really smell like anything. Today I am supposed to be doing a half a cup of flour and 1/4 cup of water. So let's do that. I don't know, obviously, anything about what I'm doing here, but to me, it seems a little sticky, like it needs more water, but following the instructions. So I'm moving the rubber band to where the starter is now. And then I believe tomorrow, we're gonna do the same thing tonight for 24 hours. So I'm gonna put my lid back on, store it up on my refrigerator. And then I'm pretty sure tomorrow is when we do the discard. So I'm excited to see what happens tonight. Day 3, let's see what it looks like. I'm not gonna lie, I already peeked. I was so excited. Look! It doubled in size. I cannot believe it. How exciting. Okay, so today, there's a ton of bubbles in here too, which is really good. Today, I'm gonna do the discard. So you discard half and then we feed it again. So let's see. A lot of bubbles. So let's discard half. Okay, that's all mixed in. I'm just making sure my rubber band is in the right spot. This has been really helpful. Just because you could put like a piece of tape or something, but it has been really helpful. It just helps me to understand like how much it's growing. And when I saw that it was doubled this morning, I was so excited. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's day 4. Let's check our starter and feed it. I didn't peek this time. Not much, like it's to here, so it didn't really grow that much. Today what we do is we discard half of it again and then we feed it. So I'm going to discard it and save it with my other discard that's in the Okay, it is really hard to stir this. It's like super thick and very sticky. And these are wide mouth mason jars. Like honestly, I would probably tell someone to do it in like a short fat jar so that you're able to stir it, because getting my hand like down there to stir, or maybe I just need like a long wooden spoon, but I don't know where mine is and I cannot find it. So I'm going to move this back down. I think I took out, I don't think I took out enough discard yesterday. I think that's my problem. So today I took out a little bit more. It says to take out half, so I made sure to take out a little more, and we'll see how that goes. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. So I did take a peek at, and nothing really happened. And it doesn't really smell like anything. It's not bubbling a ton. It says keep going. So we're gonna discard half, and then we're gonna do flour and water again. Hopefully it works. This is like the 5th time I'm videoing this, because every time I keep feeling something in my eye and it's like sharp, I don't know, but nothing's in there. Anyways, so the weather here has gotten pretty cold. So my starter was doing great. It doubled in size. This was like 2 days ago, I think. It was doing really good, and then it took a nosedive. It's not doubling, it's not really bubbling. That's one thing that I keep reading is like if it has like more of a potent smell, then you know it's still working. I don't have a heating pad like specifically for food, so I just took like my heating pad that I used on my back and I wrapped my starter around it. The only problem with this is this has a auto shut off after 2 hours. So last night the starter was wrapped all cozy and tight, and then you know, it was only on for 2 hours. So today I'm gonna turn it back. I turned it back on this morning, but before I go to work, and I think what I'm gonna do is just literally like wrap it up in here, so hopefully it'll hold in some of that heat throughout the day. And our temperatures are supposed to get back up this weekend, so I don't know what to do, because honestly tomorrow is when I'm supposed to be making the bread, so I'm kind of lost. But I'm gonna look some stuff up today and hopefully have an answer for that. So here's what we're looking at. It has only risen a tiny bit. It's better than yesterday. Yesterday was pretty much nothing. So it's definitely better. You can see there's still bubbles in it. Open it up. It definitely has a sour smell, like for sure. Another thing that I was told to look at was to make sure that there's no like mold growing in it. Obviously, if there's mold growing in it, don't use it. But that's a good indicator that like nothing's active and it's just kind of died and not doing its thing. So I don't have any mold. I don't have anything that's alarming. You can see there's some bubbles in there, just a few. So I think we're still, sorry, I think we're still on. So I'm gonna feed it again today, and then like I said, I'm gonna try and keep it warm all day. I'm like, honestly, like, do I take it to work with me and wrap it up in a heating blanket all day at work? So I'm gonna feed it our normal 1/4 cup of water, and then a 1/2 cup of the all-purpose unbleached flour. Forgot to discard. Okay, I don't know what to do now. Crap. I don't know what to do. You know what? This is gonna be a good trial. I'm not gonna discard any. I'm gonna see what happens if I just leave all this in here. We'll see. I'm thinking to myself, like, wait, why is there so much in here? I'm gonna read up today on what happens if you forget to discard. My assumption is people in the past have done it, so I'm not the first Yahoo to do that. But I'm thinking what'll have to happen is I'll just have to feed it. I'll have to discard tonight and then feed it again in the morning. That's probably what's gonna happen. But okay, so obviously there's a ton more in here because I didn't discard any. I'll wrap it in this blanket today and hopefully, I can't believe this. Hopefully we can bring her back. Okay, so the heating blanket is working. Last night when I checked my starter, it was like up to here, but it's definitely like way more bubbly. It's growing, it's alive, I can tell. So the discard issue yesterday didn't seem to matter. Everything I read just said that you're gonna have way more starter than you really need. And if it grows too fast, then it can like come out and bubble over. We don't want that. So today I'm gonna do a discard. Chat about really quick is the difference between the discard and your starter. So the discard is inactive. It's not going to be bubbling. You can keep it in your fridge, but you can still use this for pancakes. You can use it for a lot of things. It's just not going to have that like sourdough taste. And a lot of recipes I saw aren't things that are going to rise. So you can do like crackers, pancakes, like put it in mixes, whereas whatever's in your starter is active. It has yeast. It's going to be more breads, loaves, those kinds of things, croissants, all that stuff. But this is still very useful. I'm planning on making some crackers with it, actually. Okay, we are going to make a loaf of bread from the starter that I've been making over the last week. All right, we are going to do it. We're going to make the sourdough bread from the starter. It is very soury smelling. Let me show you. It's hard to see, but there's definitely bubbles going on. It's ready. So we're gonna go ahead and make a loaf of bread in a loaf pan. It's just gonna be like a normal bread that you would eat for sandwiches and stuff, not like one of those fancy loaves. I'm just starting very basic. First thing that we have to do, I had to warm some milk because the recipe called for 1 cup of warm milk minus 2 tablespoons. I guess it's called a scant. So 1 scant of milk. It's been kneading for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to take it out of here, put it in an oiled bowl, and then it is going to have to sit to rise. This process can take 12 hours. So my plan is I'm going to do that tonight, and then tomorrow morning my dough will be ready and I can make a loaf. Now, going forward, it's not going to be like this because I'm just going to keep feeding this starter, and so it won't be days. Like I could feed this tonight and then I can use it again tomorrow or the next day or the next day. You know what I mean? That's it. Let me put this in a bowl and let it sit. Tomorrow when I get up, we're going to put it in a loaf pan and we are going to bake the bread, and we're going to see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it all works out. I had the loaf in this bowl. It was oiled for like 12 hours. And then I took it out and then I stretched it a little bit just to activate the gluten. And then I put it in the loaf pan. I also oiled that and let it sit for another couple hours to see if it would raise any more. It didn't really raise that much more. So right now I have the oven at 350. I'm gonna pop it in and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so the bread does look really good. So I'm taking it out of the oven right now. Look at that! I think it's done. Guys, I think I did it. I'm so excited. So I'm just gonna prick it really quick. She's done. Okay, I just cut the bread. It's really good. It's like buttery. It's so good. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week.